Oh, what's up, everybody? Yes, there was a glitch in the system. It's our wonderful piece of trash, Streamlabs. So for you waiting grinders, I got a song for you. We're going to start this thing up right now. Grinders, hit that like button. Before we start anything, I got to pour one out for our good friend, businessman, Hiroki Totoki. Light one up for him, everybody. Here we go. It's coming.
25. It's coming.
New song, Gaming Grindhouse. We'll start off with a bang because it's going to be a rumble in the Grindhouse. Hiroki, this one's for you.
My corporate world, where dreams are lost. Hiroki Totoki, he's the big boss. He's the soul of a company so grand. But deep down, he longs for a life so grand. Numbers and spreadsheets, they fill his days, but he dreams of making music in so many ways. He wants to rock the stage, be a star so bright.
You're my number one customer.
In the boardroom, his dreams stay fly. Hiroki Totoki, the corporate king, but in his heart, he just wants to sing. He's got the passion, the fire in his soul, but in the business world, he's lost control. He's lost control.
Oh, man. Hiroki Totoki. Totokiness. What's up, grinders? How you doing out there? It's Friday! Gaming Grindhouse. Yes, it is. What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Stonewall, member for 28 months. Stoney's still learning, he says. Oh, damn.
Xbox, no. Phil, yes.
Phil says, just use my line, he said. Thank you, Stonewall, for being a VIP grinder there. And, yeah, if you are new here or you have had your membership, join the Gaming Grindhouse with VIP, and you'll get exclusive music. You'll also get awesome emojis. We're working our way to get our new emojis, which I showed earlier. These are the next ones that we're looking for. We have the Xbox glaze emoji is coming once we hit our member goal, and then we also could get the other one, which thou shalt not, I think. Those are the two emojis on deck for when we hit our next goal there. So be a VIP, help us get to that. And yes, and Ultimate Grinders, get the music that you just listened to. There's all this wonderful music, exclusive Gaming Grindhouse music the day it releases. You get it in a playlist and rock.
You're my number one customer.
The music there. Let's get Totokiness off the screens. And shout out to Gordo P23 with a 5. He goes, I want to start thanking God and all of his angels that Sony had a good sense to cancel that live service game before it was too late. Yes, that is the topic of the day. And then Gordo followed up with the 5. He goes, a God of War live service game could have been Concord Part 2, except it probably would have failed even faster. Amen to that one too, Gordo. We'll talk about that one. Sony's FAFO saga. That's right. It continues. This is, I thought about making this part 2 because they just continue to learn and grow. Yes, we are 3,000 strong. Thank you there, boy. Yep. Hit that subscribe button too. We're over 3K and we'll be having a 3K show on Monday at the Gaming Grindhouse, Mondays at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And Wild Wolf, I agree. What are we doing here? That's what I was seeing when I saw this stuff. Because listen, we're gonna talk about this. I have a lot to talk about with this stuff because I, for one, do not like games being canceled. And what hurts even more is when games that have not even been announced yet are canceled. And that's the craziest thing, because it's like, it's just like, I know games get canceled all the time, but it's like announcing a cancellation to a game that was never announced. It's friggin' annoying. And what am I talking about? So yesterday, Jason Schreier, what's up, Ice Queen? How you doing? Sam Ash, let me do the shout outs here. The Claymore's here. Sergeant's here. Devil Shooter. Gordo P23 is here. Not P3. We don't want to confuse him with Phil Spencer's gamer tag. We got him here. Bruh, the man from the 5th floor. What's up? I'm from the 6th floor. How you doing? Andy 5594. Lucci Sky. What's up? How you doing? Mass Produce. Mario Heat. Oh, man. He said this music makes him want to spread his sheets. Oh, shit. Oh, man. You want to spread. It is. It's the Hiroki Totoki song. It is. Oh, that corporate world Hiroki. We're gonna hear that song. I got that on playlist, man. We gotta listen to that one. Albert, how you doing? He said, let's go. Yeah, sorry I was a little late. I was making sure that I had everything sorted out. I wanted to make sure I had the articles up there so you don't have to hear me clinking and clanking on the keyboards through your wonderful headphones. That's right, Iceman. Good. Now go make Days Gone 2, please. That game should have been out. Alrighty, please. So Jason Schreier came out there, and he put an article out about this. Sony cancels 2 more PlayStation projects in a broader retreat. The company told subsidiaries Bend and Bluepoint it will work with them to determine their next steps and minimize job losses. Dude. And why? Why did they cancel these projects? Well, apparently, they were both working on live service games. Big live service games. And they were both working on Bend was working on a live service game. It's interesting because they changed their logo. If you remember, Studio Bend changed their logo, and they updated this. They've been teasing Siphon Filter. They've been releasing all the Siphon Filters on the classics and always hyping those up on X and things like that. And then they changed their logo, and then apparently they're working on a live service game, which now has been canceled. But I think the shocker to everybody has been Bluepoint, which finished with Demon Souls at launch of the PlayStation 5, was working on a multiplayer game, and not just any multiplayer game, a multiplayer God of War service game. If I don't have to say, boy, who thought that was a good idea? Anybody play God of War Ascension? Anybody? God of War Ascension? Anybody? Let me see if I can find somebody that's playing God of War Ascension. Anybody? God of War Ascension, multiplayer God of War. I thought so. Yeah, nobody's playing God of War Ascension. That was like the worst God of War. So I don't know who thought about taking, nonetheless, Bluepoint, who's been known for doing incredible remakes of games, and putting them on a goddamn God of War live service game. It gotta have been Jim Jarrett. Jim Jarrett in the house. Yeah, so if you see that thing, the resemblance is uncanny. That is Jeff Jarrett. Jim Jarrett, as we call him here. Gordon Ramsay Ryan. I miss Jim Ryan because I miss making fun of him. Goddamn Gordon Ramsay. Real life Gordon Ramsay, Jim Jarrett. I miss him in the old age home. So Jim Johnson, Jim Jarrett, wherever you are.
It's not even pink, this is raw. And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
I don't know who made up the idea, but they were a drunkard. And now that has been canceled from Bluepoint. If you remember, they acquired Bluepoint. And then that. That's right. That's right. Maniolos, member of 33 months, he says PlayStation got some of that Xbox glaze. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. That must have been with Jim Ryan and friends when they were all there talking about live service games. They're like, oh, they got that glaze going on there. They said, oh shit, what's that? That's Phil Spencer glaze. No, this is a PlayStation glaze. Oh, service games. Oh. That's the face they made when they bought Bungie. That's what happened. Bungie went in over there talking big live service games, and they wanted to make live service games, and that's the face that they made when Bungie walked in the door. They're like, oh, service game. Oh. Fucking, they got glazed. They got Bungie glazed. We have to change this to a Bungie glaze. That's what they did. Ridiculous. Clowns. So who thought that it was a good idea? Who? But apparently those two were canceled. But this is just the ramifications of what the hell Sony pivot has been. So let's go to the streets and let's see what was led up to this. So back, storyboard time. Lloyd Hawk says, love all you Xbox refugees telling PlayStation how to operate. They're the ones canceling games, not me, Lord. So somebody needs to tell them how to operate. They're the ones making these stupid decisions and canceling games. And then capitalizing on that, going, oh, well, they're not going to lose their jobs. It's like, you know what? Who made these stupid-ass decisions? I'm not telling them how to run their company. All I know is that we're not getting games because of this shit. That's right, FAFO. I don't give a shit how they run their company. Hotoki could go face down, ass up. I don't give a shit. Lord, if they've always canceled games, have they always told us the games that are canceled before even announcing them? Like, announce it publicly, or just announce that they're limiting shutdowns and stuff like that? And also, Sony has never done something with Concord, like releasing a game or funding it and then shutting the studio down and canceling the whole thing. So obviously something is awry. Something opened up their eyes, and I think it was the Concord. And according to Jeff Grubb, gaming's mankind, he said that it was because of the Concord that they started now to make the pivot. But see, what I don't like is we are getting less games. And that's my concern with this whole storyboard here. And we're going to go into it. Because this live service bullshit has really shook things up. Because if you remember, and again, in 2020, and they said that they had plans to launch more than 10 live service games in March of 2026. 10. Now, Grinders, let me ask you a question. Did they show us those 10 games? Did they show us those 10 games? Their initial plan was that more than 10 games. Did they show 12? Somebody said, yeah, more than 10. It was 12. Did they show all of them? No. Was that typical of what Sony had been doing in the PlayStation 4 era? Like, just announce shit without context, without kind of a game? It was just more of an idea. This whole announcement of this live service thing was awkward to begin with, because it was a pivot, it was a change, and it was something that wasn't led by the games. Let the games do the talking. They never even showed the games. We didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. We didn't even know who was working on these games. But they basically just said, yeah, we're doing it, which was so unlike what Sony traditionally was doing. They were showing a game. They were leading up on a wonderful thing, making us all excited, showing more of the game, and then releasing it. When did they just come out and just go, yeah, we are planning to do more than... Because they were appeasing to the fucking investors. They had to kind of catch this wave of live service. Oh, us too. Me too. Sounds like somebody we know. Look at us. Look at us. We're going to do something. So even that announcement was strange. Then on top of that, they then pulled back. And they said, now we're only doing 6. And these were some of them, and I actually have them on here, the list that people have been tracking here. It just seemed so strange the way they were doing it. The way they were announcing this stuff. And I think it really culminated when they did that showcase where they showed Concord and they showed Fair Games. And they really didn't even show the game itself. Like they really didn't show the game. They showed a title screen. So unlike what they traditionally do when they announce games. They were just sort of like, yeah, just put a name out there. I'm like, but what are these? These are new IPs. What is this? And it was a service game. Yes, it saved the thing with Spider-Man 2 at the end. But the show was a head scratcher. It was like, okay, these are your service games. This is the promise that you made. What's up, Gadget? How you doing, man? This is the promise that you made about this roadmap that you didn't even tell us what the hell you're working on. And then that was the kind of the kicker. On top of that, in the background, we've seen live service games, the season of them, start failing. Multiverses,
You're my number one
Rogue
customer.
Company. A lot of these service games were coming and going, fly-by-nighters. And Sony still had this promise of these live service investments. The thing that I'm a little perturbed about is that I thought a lot of the studios they were buying were the ones that were going to do live service, and they were going to leave their other studios alone. You do you. And, you know, you sucker punches. Well, not just sucker punch. I mean, like, bend. Who else was there? There was Naughty Dog. You do you. You guys do what you want. We're going to have these other little studios that we buy make these service games, and we'll see how they go. But we're not taking away from what we know, what we do. And now, when we're looking at this, we see that Blue Point was involved in this service stuff. We see that Naughty Dog was involved in the service stuff. We see that, you know, Media Molecule is live service. We see that, who else was in this? Insomniac was doing live service with Spider-Man The Great Web. We see that Bend when they, so like, it wasn't just the studios that they were buying. It was actually, they were taking their studios from what they do best in single player, story driven games that sell and move the platform and become part of their brand identity. And they were turning them in to these multiplayer shit shows. And that's where I come in, is like, yo, I thought let Jade Raymond do her own shit, but we're not going to take away from what Naughty Dog does. And then we find out, Naughty Dog's working on a live service, and Naughty Dog had to come in and go, yo, we're doing either one, dude. We can't do both. Same thing with Insomniac, the Spider-Man multi-service game that we saw it leak in the Insomniac leaks, that multiplayer Spider-Man, which shit. Some of them, I don't know. But I still, to this day, Factions, I think that's money on the table, man. I think Factions as a multiplayer thing would have worked because it would have been something new and refreshing in this service world, similar to what a Helldivers 2 was. And the fact that they said cancel that and they let Concord release, I still don't know what's going on with her tokiness over there. But this is the problem that I am upset about, is that they use their own studios who do what they do and try to turn them into something else. And what's happening is we're wondering, where's the showcase? Where's phase 2? And I don't want to say and ignore what they did this generation so far with Miles Morales, all the games that we have, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, you know, God of War, Gran Turismo, Horizon. Like, they've been pumping that stuff out, but for some reason, somewhere along that line, grinders, somewhere along that line, they went awry. They said, pivot. Service games are coming.
25. It's coming.
And they just went on this kind of chase for something. This exploration, this commitment. And now shit dried up and they realized that's not what people want and they got to pivot back. And this is crazy is that those games that I announced, the way they ended the PlayStation 4 generation and started the PlayStation 5, it's like, dude, yes, more. This is great. But then all of a sudden, here comes this service push and day and date, and we're going to put games on PC and PlayStation day one. Woohoo! This is a whole new world. And it's like, why are you fucking it up? What are you doing? Let Fortnite be the Fortnite people. Let them do them. You do you. That's how you got here. You do what you do. Stop trying to tap into shit you don't know fuck about. And don't think you could just use your fucking money to go buy knowledge from Bungie, who got their head so far up their ass they're licking their goddamn tonsils. Bungie, who's face down, ass up, don't even know what they used to be, a shell of their former self. You can't go buy that knowledge and think like, oh yeah, now we're services. And then take the studios that do what they do and turn them into something else. And what happened? What happened to that first wave? What happened? After God of War, okay, thanks. The cross-platform extravaganza. Remember all the games that were cross-platform, right? And then Spider-Man 2. Now we got this last year or two of this sort of like, Final Fantasy's there. We got Final Fantasy. We got these second-party deals. We got a couple of these. We got remasters and remakes and redos, and we'll throw in an Astrobot here. And not to say any of that stuff is bad, but something changed. So we were on a roll. We ended that PS4 and that PS5. We were on a friggin' roll, screaming at the screen when we saw Wolverine sitting there and Spider-Man 2. Just do your duty. Do your shit. Stop trying to be something that you're not. Let somebody else deal with that shit. Stop chasing waterfalls. God damn it. They're chasing this, and you know what? Listen, it's the same, but different, but still the same. To what Microsoft is trying to do in a different aspect. It's the same shit. They're trying to grab onto something they don't know shit about. Microsoft went in there and turned their studios that made exclusive games to their platform into goddamn PC studios. Oh, you're making PC day one. And they couldn't keep up. And now Sony's doing this thing. Hey, you make great first part of single player games, story, epic games. All right, we want you to do battle passes and shit. They're like, who? We saw what happened. You can't just slap battle passes onto games and think that they're going to work and say, service! Service! You can't. They tried to do that with Halo. Look what happened. They didn't know shit about battle passes, and look what happened. They couldn't even get the prices right. Bob Barker couldn't help their ass. That's what happens when you take somebody and you turn them into something without proper training to something that they're not. They couldn't even get the prices in that battle pass going. They had no clue how to run it. Oh, wait, we got to do content? I thought this would be easy. We color the jockstrap green. We do a blue 1 year. 1 week we do a purple. It's wonderful. No, it's not as easy as that, I guess. To run a service game and a storefront and content to keep people engaged. And what I don't like is that they try to turn their studios, and there's still some out there. We got Media Molecule. We got Media Molecule still hanging around out there with some service game. We got Fair Games, dude. That's the one that should be in there. fair games? Jade Raymond be sweating her ass off right now. She's like, shit, I'm going back to Assassin's Creed. If I was Jade Raymond, I'll be like, oh shit. It's fair games? Payday 3 couldn't even do Payday right. You think Fair Games is gonna do Payday right? Please. Make it a camp, do something, make it a friggin' episodic story, bullshit, something, but do not let that thing come out and go, oh yeah, this is Jade Raymond's Payday. Because Payday 3 couldn't even do Payday. So Fair Games, you in trouble. I would start rethinking that game real quick. Knowing how and also too, I think they've realized that the market changed. So let's just go back to the tapes again. On here is that they adjusted their strategy and pulled back a lot of these service games. Let me get to these member chats and super chats here. Let's go. We got there we go. Cosmic Hero, what's up, man? What's good, Jez? What are we doing here? Sony needs this pivot, to be honest. If any of us like it or not, Nintendo can and will gladly take their market. Hell yeah. And you know what? I am glad that Concord was woke. It woke the shit out of Sony. That's what it did. Concord was woke. It woke Sony up to go, yo, we don't want this shit. We don't want this. So you better change. But the problem is that what I don't like in this pivot, Cosmic Hero, what I don't like is that this wastes time. I am hoping, but I don't think, again, this is just hope, that these were a few dudes working on this shit. And they were working on something else. And this was just like another part of the studio, a quarter of it, a half of it, that was just doing this. And they still are not this, because I'm hoping that Studio Bend and Blue Point are not like start from the beginning, because that is wasted time. That's wasted time and money, and that means we won't see anything from them for years to come. Who even knows within this generation? And that's the scary part of this. Like this pivot, same thing goes with a lot of things. Like who knows? Did Insomniac just like, I hope not Insomniac, but Naughty Dog, is Intergalactic like ready to go? I know they were working on a couple at the same time, so Factions canceled, yeah, so they could focus and go in on Intergalactic and something else that they're working on. I'm hoping that these other studios were similarly structured and that these service projects were part of something else and not all that they were working on. Because if we're back to ground zero with these two, that sucks. And that's where I hate this pivot. And not to say that I wanted the service game anyway, because who even thought of that stuff should be fired. Is probably eating Jello pudding right now. Goddamn Jim Gordon Ramsay Ryan. Who the hell knows who brought this stuff up? Oh, her Hotokiness.
It's not even pink, this is raw! And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
But that's they adjusted. And even Studio London got shut down. Like, and that's the sucky thing about this whole thing, is that then they even shut down, London Studio service game. They canceled it and shut them down. Concord, they refunded everybody, shut them down. Media Molecules flooding around out there. This might be their last call to arms. Bungie, Gummy Bears. Yeah, I can't wait for that one. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. And they still have Marathon to be determined. Bungie. Bunch of shitheads. Because I think Bungie, like, I don't know. I feel like they saw Bungie on the table and they're like, yo, we could do this live service thing. We got Bungie. And probably at the time, because you got to think, this is the other thing too. When these decisions were made in 2021, 2022, the live service train was a going. It was a running. This live service train. What's up, Zuby Tech? How you doing, man? The thing is, yeah, I don't know, unknown. I don't know. Cool was going Gummy Bears. Maybe fix that shit. Gummy Bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. They better have that fucking song in there. I want to see that song. But the thing is that you got to think at the time, everybody wanted to be services. And also, too, those investors and all that other trash, they were all like, Sony, what are you doing? Microsoft's going to PC. Everybody's talking about games and this and that. What are you doing? And I remember during these investors meetings, they would have to say this shit. They'll be like, oh, yeah, we're doing services. We're putting some games on PC. It's like, Sony, like, why are you, like, I know they're your investors, but like, this ain't you. This is not what brought you here. This is not why people buy your shit. You're saying all the stuff that people don't want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, it was so weird. It was like, and I know these, and everybody's like, well, remember all the pressure, Sony, you need multiplayer games. You need multiplayer. All you have are these huge, expensive, one and done games, these games that sell, but you need some multiplayer. That's where the real money for the movie is made. You need multiplayer. You need battle passes. You need this. You need that. Remember at the time in 2021, you're looking at the turn of after COVID, everybody's doing services and rogue companies and and everybody's releasing their service shit. Battle passes galore. They even turned Halo into a live service because everybody wanted to jump on that bitch train of service games. Jim Gordon Ramsay Ryan put down his goddamn raw meat and said,
It's not even pink, this raw. And Coop has delivered undercooked salmon.
He said, I want it. I want it. We go and do services. Everybody's doing services. And then they bet down. And instead, because again, they didn't lead with the games. They didn't do what Jim said. Good old Jim Jarrett. Let the games do the talking. Instead, he let his mouth do the talking. And just stood up there and says, well, we plan on doing 10 or more games service. And they all will be, some will be day and date on PC. And it's just like, yo, you're counting your eggs before they hatch. Show the games. Let us get excited. Don't tell us about the theory of where you want to go. Don't tell us about what you want to do. Don't tell us about what you think is going to be good. Don't do that. Show us. Show us. Show us these games. Lead with the game. Make us interested. Don't tell us. Show us. And that's one thing that they were doing. They were talking now. Talk, 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 talk. Talk is cheap. We're doing services. We're putting them on PC. Shut up. We don't even know what the fuck you're working on. Let the goddamn games do the talking. Show us why we should give a shit. But when you tell us it's a service game, I'm immediately turned off. I want you to shove it up your ass. Because right now, I know that I don't care what that game is. All I know is being built with services first. Know why? Because that's the first thing you told me about the game, is that it's a service game. Like, don't you dopey bitches understand consumers? If I come tell you it's a service game, before I even tell you what the game is, you know what the important factor of that game being there is. It's a service game. Oh, and we run around and you led with it's a service game. So I guess that's the most important part of this. You didn't even tell me what these games were. You just told me what the model is. So that's the important part. That's why this game exists. Not because you want to open this world and share this incredible combat and do all this stuff. You led with, these are service games. And that's where they fucked up right there. Day one. You didn't let the games do the talking. You didn't show us these games and then on the back end find, oh, it's a service game, but it's this. No, you led with what they were, which lets me know that it's a portfolio thing. It's a thing that you want to do to satisfy some bitches. Some investors sitting there going, oh, good, we got service games. Okay, good. Now we're like the Joneses. That's the problem. I always had that issue with them. And then when they started showing them Concord, a goddamn cockpit they showed. And then when they showed Concord after that, oh, it's episodic shows every week. And then after all that horse shit, they told us it's a service game. They showed us a cockpit. Then they showed us the CGI intro movie and told us how that's a weekly thing. And then showed us the gameplay. So you told me all your priorities right there. That's the problem. Stop telling me and show us. You dumbass gaming industry. Show people why they should be invested in your games. Let the goddamn games do the talking. You would think with all the media access and digital demos and digital videos and streaming, we would see more of the game doing the talking than the fucking executives opening up their mouths. But I feel in this day and era, we hear more about the goddamn executives, the developers. Everybody got a mouthpiece on them, and nobody wants to show us shit. That's what grinds my gears about it. With all this digital video and 4K streaming and Twitch and YouTube and digital demos and digital delivery, we should be sampling the games ourselves and sharing them with our own communities and giving impressions and playing them. But instead, we got fuckers yapping all over the goddamn internet. I'm going to make it a service game. Shut the fuck up. Show me the goddamn game and show me why I should even care. But we got more talking when we should have more showing. And this list here, so what games have we seen? Gameplay of and play? Like, what have we seen from this bitch list? None of it. All talk. All talk. And this goes for all you dumbass gaming industries. Show us the goddamn games and not no in-game render bullshit. What we think it's gonna be, what we want it to be, what we hope it's gonna be. Show us the fucking game. Just show it. Show some son of a bitch playing it. Show some game tester playing it. Talk about your demo. Goddamn demo. Don't show us in-game assets, in-engine, what we hope it's going to be, running on a goddamn PC is 9090. Just play the fucking game and show us a game. Is it that hard? We got more of that shit when we were looking at magazines. When we got Nintendo Power magazines, we got more goddamn gameplay than what we're getting nowadays. I would get more gameplay snapshots of a Nintendo Power magazine than I get with a goddamn 4K. Send it to my phone. Exactly, Primal. It sounds exactly like my frustrations with the other guy. And that's why I thought it was so weird that Sony was doing the same tune. They were marching to the beat of the flute, the Phil Ness flute. They were like, oh, we're going to talk about the service games. We're going to talk about our direction. And we got 12 of them coming soon too. We're going to talk about all. Why? You were doing fine. You were on a roll. Why? Haruki Totokiness? Why? You wanted? And I have an idea, Grinders. I think this whole bullshit here, I think it's because they got FAFO with that PC. I'm telling you, they wanted to try to build a foundation on PC based off of these multiplayer games, and that's why they were doing the day and date with them. I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to have their cake and eat it too. We'll keep them happy over our console. We'll give them a little taste of our IPs. But you want to know what? The real importance is right here with the service games, day and date on PC, so we could build some sort of infrastructure and have the game out to everybody and get everybody on battle passes. But you got to think, back in 2021, everybody was jumping on the bandwagon. But then we saw, as the years went on, we saw multiverses, we saw Rogue Company, we saw all these service games drying up because it got too crowded. And if you remember, Grinders, I'm going to get the other super chats here. Talking about FAFO. Easy Tone with the 5. He goes, more FAFO. Remember how many Arcane devs left because they didn't want to work on Red Ass. Oh, damn. Bleeding Edge. Oh, man. He's talking about the goddamn Red Ass. I imagine Sony devs didn't want to work on this trash either and left. I wouldn't put it behind them because they were trying to make traditional what they do something different, and you saw what happened. What's up, Dog Zone? How you doing, man? Suicide Squad, another service game. We saw how that failed. Everybody tried to do it. Remember, for 4 months, Andrew Wilkins, Concord, Drawn to Death, Lawbreakers were all really good. Good games flop every day. Every day be in my New York voice. Thank you, Andrew Wilkins. Yeah. Concord had good shooting, dude. I'm not going to say it was trash. That rollout, they misread the room. And they could have scrapped it and did something with it. Maybe a campaign. It had good shooting mechanics. It looked good. It wasn't like some sort of we'll fix it later stuff. It worked. But it was a marketing train wreck disaster. That's what happened with Concord. And the problem was the gameplay wasn't different enough to differentiate it with what's out there. That's why I say Fair Games, you're next, dude. You Payday 4? You Jade Raymond's Payday? Who knows? But you're right. Good games flop. And not necessarily good games. And I'll get into that part because there's something from Mr. Yellow Chair that I got to talk about there. But like, this was their venture. They basically came in there and was like, hey, you know, we got Bungie more than 10 live service games by March 2026. And they had this back in 2022. Talking about the next 4 years, 10 live service games. Dude, that is crazy. A live service game is supposed to be a game that lasts, right? How can you expect to release more than 10, 12 of them in 4 years? That is, how would you expect people to buy that many battle passes? Who thought this was a good strategy? Hitoki? Somebody? Jim Gordon Ramsay?
In a corporate world where dreams are lost, Hiroki Totoki is the big boss.
Was it Hiroki Totoki? I don't know. But who thought in 2022 the next 4 years will be more than 12 games? 12 service games. That's a lot of battle passes. You're supposed to, the point of a service game is that you set it and forget it, right? You release it and then you support it for years and seasons. How are you supporting the 12? How are you supporting 10 in 4 years? Who thought that? That's insane. And then they realized that that was insane. And then Sony came back and said, you know what? We're just going to do 6. And that was in 2023. They go, oops, we're just going to do 6. Still a lot, considering that this was made another year or so later. They pulled back about half of them, and they had studio closures. He said the company is reviewing the live service game push amid development trouble that has already been seen with Naughty Dog's Last of Us. So I think there were 2 pivots here. I think initially, I don't know who came up with it. Jim Ryan, Hiroki's, I don't know who came up with it. But they had 10 on the books, 12. And then I think they saw the pushback from what Naughty Dog was saying and Bungie and all them. Bungie came in there and they go, yeah, you know what? We're going to have to like gut these studios, and they're going to have to be solely these kind of studios, like service studios. They can't do all these other games. And I think after the Naughty Dog push, Hiroki Totoki came out there and said, we're reviewing this. So the titles, we have not been able to meet the gamers' expectations, but we're trying as much as possible, and this would be played by the gamers and liked for gamers for a long time. I don't know how they thought 12 was going to be set. Like, that's too much. So the 12 titles, so 6 will be releasing by fiscal year 2025. That's our current plan, which I don't think they came to fruition. The remaining 6, as for when they'll be released, we're still working on that. And the live service games and multiplayer titles, that's the total of that. So in the mid to long term, we want to enlarge this kind of service, and that's the unchanged policy of our company. It's not that we stick to certain titles, but for gamers, quality should be the most important. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, well, how can we assess quality when you don't even release them? You cancel them before they even see the light of day. That was pivot one. I think the pushback from Naughty Dog and the Bungie turned out to be Bungie face down, ass up. They were tripping, Astro. They were tripping. Like, who thought 12 titles? We all said this was crazy lunacy. But we all thought it was like, they're just shutting, like, they don't know what they're talking about. It was crazy. And then even 6. A year later, cancel the 6. But that was one pivot. And then I think the final pivot that we're seeing where they're saying they don't know what to do with the other 6 was Concord. I think Concord woke the shit out of them. Concord scared them. Dude, that is a huge, huge issue. You release a game, you put it everywhere, Mr. Yellow Chair. It's everywhere. It's on PC. It's on PlayStation. But nobody wanted to play it. And it died. And you had to refund them in 2 weeks. That's right. Zuby said now it's 4. That's it. And I think Zuby, I have your I think I have your breakdown here. I think Zuby, you have it right here. There's Zuby's. There you go, Zuby. I got you. I got you, Zuby. Shout out to Zuby. I got him. There it is. So these are the 4 that we have on the deck right now. MLB The Show, Helldivers. But I think Concord scared the hell out of them and said, you know what? Now the 6 and the other 6, they shut them down. That was London Studios, so they learned what to do with them. And then the other 6, they go, you know what? We're fine-tuning it even more. Because Concord scared the shit out of them. That's right, Wild Wolf. Wild Wolf scared the hell out of them. So this is what they got right now. We got MLB The Show, Helldivers 2, Marathon, Fair Games, Holy Spirit Activate, Horizon Online Multiplayer. Yo, Herman Holtz got to get his W. He wants that. He wants to force Aloy down our throats. And Media Molecule Live multiplayer live service. Media Molecule, telling you right now, if I ran Media Molecule, I would have said, Dreams to bitches.
Bitches.
Dreams to, and get that support for the PS VR2, you son of a bitch.
Great circle. Bitches.
Because that's another thing. Not only does the live service venture piss me off, but the PS VR2 and Sony's support of it pisses me the hell off. Because they have just left that thing to be the goddamn friggin' MetaQuest port. Meta, you take care of our PSVR 2. No, Sony, you have all these studios and you have these stupid bitches face down, ass up, working on service games when they should be making some VR games. No. That's your hardware right there. At least have some of them, one or the two of them, make a VR game. Media Molecule, Dreams, you son of a bitch. Dreams was friggin' awesome. It was built, everybody was making their own games. It was like an indie Game Pass without subscribing. It was friggin' incredible. And they could have added VR2 support with all the haptics and everything. And you just left it. You never even gave Dreams a PS5 update. And now you got them working on some live service. Dude, they're done. They're cooked. They're cooked. See, Nuffle said he never bought a PSVR. He knew it ended like this. What's crazy, Niffle, is that the PSVR had tons of shit from them. They were adding VR modes to games. I'm like saying VR modes. They don't even add that. Not even VR sections to games. Like, add stuff on. They just don't even do it. They let Meta take care of it. But they got this. And me and Molecule working on the lives. Are you kidding me? What are they making? It better not be no goddamn Sackboy. Are they gonna make like why couldn't they just take Dreams and make Dreams? Dreams was no, Dreams was free. Like there was no service behind it. But Dreams was a live service game. It didn't have a battle pass. It just sucks, Saber, because it's such cool tech. And the fact that you would think that Sony would, with the Pro as well, really push it with some of their first party. Instead, they got them all working on this hokey dokey service shit. But I'm glad that they did this. The problem is that I'm hoping. Thank you, Lincoln Clay. If you want to hear about VR and full VR, you go to Lincoln Clay's channel. He's streaming that all the time. Lincoln Clay knows everything about VR. He's been here since day one, original grinder. About VR, man. He's the man to VR. But he's right. Like, I'm telling you, their first party, like, this is the shift. Like, either you do what you do and make them do what they do, or make them work on other things. But this service shit, how can you have all, and that's the crazy thing. And that, like I said, the stuff for me was that all these studios were working on service games. This is what's left. And the thing is, too, is I think Helldivers 2 was lightning in a bottle. Ride that friggin' wave. Helldivers 2 is incredible. Just keep building upon it. Keep building on Helldivers, and there you go, Sony. Stop with all the other service shit. Helldivers is your claim to fame. Ride it out. It's your quote Fortnite. You did it. Just ride the Helldivers train and let everybody do what they know how to do and make them do those things. So let them do it. If they're a service studio, they're a multiplayer studio, then let them make a multiplayer game. If it's Bungie, let them work on multiplayer games. Horizon, yeah, I don't think so, unless you want to do Killzone multiplayer. And that's the other thing that I've seen along the Twitter streets is like, you have SOCOM, you have Resistance, you have Killzone, you have games that were built with multiplayer in mind, franchises that exist because there was some cool multiplayer to it. Why don't you embrace that? If you want to bring back, dude, a $30 goddamn Killzone updated multiplayer? Yes. Horizon multiplayer? I don't know. Warhawk. Thank you, Devil Shooter. That's another one. Warhawk. Are you kidding me? Listen, I'm not no friggin' game developer. I'm just a gamer like all you. But my God, imagine Warhawk. Grinders, hear this and tell me you do not want to play this. Warhawk. You have first person shooting on the ground, and then when you get in the cockpit and fly, you have to put on your VR headset, and you got VR dudes flying above shooting people on the ground. Yo! Sign me up!
Great circle is
Bitches!
Please! Oh, I'm going in the cockpit now, dude. Boom, put on your VR headset, and now you're flying in first person VR. You got people in first person on the ground. Mix VR and regular game, like controller gameplay in the same friggin' open world battle. You could put VR in there, and you could put regular combat. Done. Warhawk, bitches.
Great circle is
Warhawk, the next gen. Massive Battlefield's face down, ass up next to ET. Somebody got to do large scale open world vehicle crazy ass battles. We got all this internet. Put 100 motherfuckers in there and let's go. We got all this tech. Like they were pushing 24 people, 30 people back in the goddamn OG Xbox Live days. We are now 20 years later, 15 years later, and nobody could come up with some new fun shit. Like, this is what drives me crazy and frustrates me. And then they whine and complain, the industry's changing, we're struggling. You know why you're struggling? Because you're copycatting all the wrong shit. And you're listening to non-gamers. You're listening to dumbasses who don't even know what a fucking controller is if they sat on it. That's the problem. So don't cry about the gaming industry. Fuck you. Come up with some new shit and get me excited for it. I'm fucking excited about that. I want that game right now. Mag, 256 players. Now it's like, oh, we got lag with 15 players right now. We got server backup with 8 on 8. The servers are crushed. We only have 16 people playing. Fucking Mag was 256 people. The hell out with some old ass dial-up bullshit. People got 1 gig straight in their asshole. And right now we can't get fucking 250 people in a game. We got Cat 5 cables hooked up to our nipples. And we can't do it. Oh, we got server issues. 16 people. Too much. We weren't expecting this many people.
Great circle is
We got lag, delays, and latency. It's 8 on 8. Fucking 8 on 8. Resistance with all the crazy guns. Like, yo. This shit writes its fucking self. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to make service? I just gave you the service. There you go. And don't talk about the service. Show me the game. Show me how somebody puts on a VR and starts riding around in Warhawk and they got dudes, first person and tanks on the bottom. There we go. Or Mag with 250 people with battles fighting around the map, and then it culminates to a big battle in the middle. How awesome would that be? Call of Duty try to do something like that. Why don't you do Mag Next Gen? Let's have a big open map and have mini battles, 16 on 16, and the winner moves closer to the middle. And the second round, you have them going 8 versus 8. You break up the team. And then finally, in the finale, you have 4 versus 4 versus 4, like 4 teams of 4. You keep breaking up the teams. You start with 30. Like, come on. How am I sitting here coming up with some fucking good shit? And you dopes are like, oh, we did Concord. It looks like Overwatch. Maybe you like it from space. What the fuck? I'm telling you right now. It's basically Battle Royale remastered. These are the kind of multiplayer models that will get people invested. I just came up with this sitting at my goddamn desk. I didn't need no goddamn whiteboard. That's your job. But I just gave you an idea. 16 on 16, 4 teams, 4 sections. Split them up. We go smaller. We go smaller. And now in the finale, we got 4 teams of 4. The best of each of the teams from the winning teams. And there's your match. King of the Hill, multiplayer style. Big battle style. Shit. Start with vehicles, big battle, and then wind down more to on foot battle. Come on. Live service mech battle game, bend their strings. How? We have 150 people in here, and we're coming up with better goddamn ideas. A mech warrior game. Where the fuck are my mech games? Where are the mech games? I got a VR headset. I had Steel Battalion. Controller bigger than the desk. Multiplayer extraordinaire. Incredible experience. With the eject button underneath the flap. How? Where are the mech games? Big boat battle, Motor Storm. Yeah. Where are these off-road racing games with destruction and I won the game with 3 wheels? Where is all this shit, gaming industry? Where is all this stuff? Where is 25 people racing off-road racing with destruction? The map is changing through an earthquake from a volcano, and you cross the finish line with 2 wheels. Make it happen. But then go cry about how the industry's there and we got to put our games everywhere. Bitch, you can put your games everywhere, but nobody gives a shit if it's the same old game. That's not a win. MechWarrior 5 Clans came out October. Where's the support? I don't know. We gotta go play it. Is it on MechWarrior? Where is it? Is it on PlayStation? I don't even know. But the MechWarrior games is like the last good mech game. There's only mechs out there. Where's Mech Assault? Where's my VTOL? Where's my dude that could hijack a mech and take it over and force an eject? Where's my Mech Assault 2? Man, VTOL, I remember flying in and picking up a... Oh, God, please. The multiplayer online experiences that were going on when this shit started, dude. Well, like, the shit that you were doing. Now it's just like, oh yeah, get the battle pass so I get my purple hat. Armored Core, man, but Armored Core, I mean, talking about like a multiplayer mech. I'm not talking about mech game like a mech game. I'm talking about like Mech Assault, Burnout, fun or crazy arcade. Like, listen. Oh, nobody wants it now. That's the old school. Why don't you try? Why don't you try instead of saying nobody wants it? Why don't you try it? But we got this, and I'm telling you right now. This right here, this Horizon multiplayer, yeah, Herman, get off your pride rock and nix that thing right now. Horizon multiplayer. He goes, yeah. Nobody wants that, Herman. That's one you gotta, that's the one you gotta nix. Because I have this feeling, and I don't know if it's true, but if that is cartoonish looking like Fortnite, oh, you're going to be in a shit show. And I don't even think Horizon has that stuff. Like, does it have characters that you want to play? Like, I don't know. Split Second was friggin' awesome. Yeah, boy, I played that at PAX. That was awesome. I remember when the developer was there and he showed it for the first time. I love that thing. But yeah, they stopped that shit too. But yeah, the Horizon and Fair Games, I think... And even Marathon, dude. The way Bungie's been rolling. These are warning track games. But remember, they canceled all this other stuff. That's right, Wild Wolf. And we're paying for online, and the multiplayer experiences have been worse. But these are the pivots that they made. So, listen. To come back full circle to what they did with Penn and Studio. Listen, who thought God of War multiplayer? And I was thinking about, like, what the hell could a God of War multiplayer be like that they thought they got something? And nonetheless, make Bluepoint do it. Was Bluepoint remaking Ascension? I'm wondering if they thought that maybe this God of War multiplayer service game would have been like Smite. Oh yeah, we'll have all the gods. You could be the Norse gods, you could be the Greek gods, and we're gonna fight with Kratos, and everybody could choose a god. You could be Athena against Loki, and then you got Kratos. And then, like, was that what they're thinking? Like a Smite multiplayer? Because who the hell wants to be like a bunch of four Kratoses swinging their goddamn chains of Olympus? They throw axes at each other. He caught my axe. And then making exactly, Zuby. And then making Bluepoint do it. Bluepoint, you know them. They made Demon Souls remake. You know them. They made Shadow of the Colossus remake. And now coming God of War multiplayer. It's like, huh? Excuse me?
Prepare ship! Prepare ship! Great ass!
Excuse me?
Skip!
It doesn't even sound right coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But skip.
Where you go?
Skip, we skip.
Simple as that.
Skip.
It doesn't even sound good coming out of my mouth there. Did that make sense? Who thought that? What, were they drunk? Was Herman drinking sake that night? Who thought that was a good idea? Blue Point, you've done incredible remakes. Now we're going to buy you. You're going to do God of War multiplayer. Blue Point, like, excuse me? What am I doing? Oh, yeah, God of War multiplayer. Who? Well, you didn't hear me? God of War multiplayer. Like Zeus of child lives there. Like what? Well, yeah, Zeus's child. Like what the fuck? Like woo. If I was Blue Point, to be wait. You tell them that incredible Demon Souls remake, and then you bought us, and you want, and then you bought us to do what? God of War multiplayer. Come again? What? Who thought that was? We said we wanted to do something different. Maybe make our own game. Who? God of War multiplayer? Yeah, it's great. We saw your track record. Yeah, we haven't made we didn't make any multiplayer. Oh, anyway, when you do multiplayer now, that's another reason why I say this is all a fallout from this acquisition season, grinders. This acquisition. See, this is what happens. Blue Point was doing wonderful when they weren't part of Sony and bought by them. But then they get bought by them and they go, oh yeah, you're doing God of War multiplayer.
Great Circle is coming out this December.
It's like, oh shit, why did we make them buy us? You know? It's like, oh shit, like this acquisition shit. Look at this. Look at that sad list. Where's that sad list again? How much of this shit was bought? You said Jason Bundle, he's doing an LA studio game. How many of these people were bought? And on top of that, yo, there's some missing in here. We got Destruction All-Stars. Don't forget the bets that Sony made on live service on top of the games that they wanted to make. Remember Destruction All-Stars? Remember the Foam Stars? Oh, shit. White foam in your face. Oh, shit.
I can go directly to Blacknuts.
God damn. Remember that investment in Foam Stars? They went full Ubisoft on that one. But look. And then Bend. Studio Bend, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you, Zuby, I don't have any inside knowledge, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I heard. Herman Holtz does not like Bend Studios. All right? Herman Holtz calls them Bend Over Studios. Herman Holtz goes, I don't like you looking at me. Herman Holtz walks into Bend Studio Bend, and he goes like this. He goes, I don't want to talk to anybody. Just show me what the fuck you're working on. Herman, don't even say my name. I don't like you, Bend Over Studio. Why don't you like us, Herman? I just don't like you. Don't me your face looking at my face. Just show me what you're working on. Here you go, Herman. This is shit. Aloy for the win. This place sucks. Herman does not like Bend Studios. He calls them Bend Over. I gotta go to Herman. Hiroki comes up to him. Herman, you gotta go to Bend Studio. I gotta go to Bend Over Studio. I hate that place. Smells like shit. Goddamn pine trees in the goddamn upper West Washington shit. I hate that. I want to live in my steam house and wear my robe and drink sake. I don't want to go to Bend Over Studios. They're part of us, Herman. Your job, go over to Bend. Go tell them what they're doing. I hate that fucking place. Herman doesn't. He's like, Aloy, she's my bitch. You suck, Bend Over. That's what he says. Now, we're not. Listen, Sabers, we're not blaming Sony. Calm down with the blame shit. But they did bet on goddamn Foam Stars. Foam in your face.
I can go directly to Blacknuts.
And they put that shit right in the pass. And they put it on their showcase. All right? So somebody was talking about Foam Stars in your face. All right? So they did promote the goddamn game. And made it exclusive too, by the way. They went full Ubisoft. I told him not to. But anyway, back to Herman. Herman does not like Bend Studios. Whenever they come up with an idea, he goes, no, don't like it. Don't like it. He does not like Bendover Studios. That Garvin guy, whatever his name is, he tells it all the time. Herman didn't like him. Herman said no to the Days Gone sequel because Herman does not like Bend Studios. I don't like it, please. Bendover. I don't know why, Mr. B. I don't know why. But all I know is that Herman canceled their Days Gone. When they proposed Days Gone, I remember when the guy was talking to Jaffe. He didn't like her. Herman didn't like him. It was a Square game, Foam Stars. Whoever made goddamn Foam Stars, it sucked. Was it a Square game? I thought it was Ubi. Oh, shit, it was Square. Oh, shit. Well, that's even worse. Was it part of the Final Fantasy deal? It was like, we'll give you Final Fantasy, you make us fuck around with Foam Stars. Oh, shit. That's right. Don John, Bend is going to be Naughty Dog North. He's like, I don't even want to know their name, Bend. We're going to call them Naughty Dog North. That's right. But for some reason, Herman don't like him. Oh, shit. It was a Square Enix game. Oh, shit. Well, whatever Foam Stars was, it was goddamn foam in your face.
I can go directly to Blackness.
Squaresoft. Oh, shit. Somebody went soft. Sweet Willie. Foam Stars made somebody go soft. It definitely made somebody go soft. Again, I'm not an insider. I know this shit. All I know is that it was a bad gamble. But again, it was a service game that they touted. But I don't know why Herman don't like Bendover. I don't know why. Because if you remember, if you go back, look, now maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm getting old. But let me see. I'm gonna have to use. I'm old man. I'm gonna use some AI here. But let me see. Herman Holst and Bend Studio about Days Gone 2. That guy wouldn't shut his mouth. That whining bitch. He whined all about this thing. Where is he? Hey, yo, listen. Grinders, look at this. I'm not no freaking insider, but man, look at the AI. Herman Holst, head of PlayStation Studios, and Bend Studio have a complex relationship when it comes down to the sequel of Days Gone. Here's an overview. From Herman Holst's perspective, Holst have been notably critical. Dude, I told you. See, Zuby, I'm not an insider, but I told you. Herman does not like Bendover Studios. He's like, I don't like them. I wanted my Saki. I don't like Bend. He said it. Herman Holst had been notably critical of Days Gone. Former game director Jeff Russ claimed that Holst was not a fan of the game, citing that Sony already had The Last of Us as a zombie game in their portfolio, suggesting we don't need any similar title. The perspective was part of it cited for not pursuing a sequel. Bend Studio, this is wild. No, this is not Microsoft AI. Microsoft AI say go buy Game Pass. I don't listen to Microsoft AI. AI's reading the room. Bend Studio, it says Bend Studio, the developer of Days Gone, has publicly moved on the prospect of Days Gone 2. That guy don't shut up. They announced they were working on a new IP, which includes multiplayer elements, building on the open world systems of Days Gone. So if they canceled the game, did they cancel the multiplayer portion or did they cancel the game? See, that's where I'm worried about. That's right. He goes, there was significant fan demand for a sequel, Days Gone Studios. The cancellation of Days Gone attributed to various factors, including the game reception. In summary, there was initial interest from both fans and some developers at Bend, but Herman Holst and the studio official direction moved towards a new IP. That's right. I don't like Bend, and now I shut it down. Told you. I told you. Herman does not like Bendover Studios. I told you. AI was right. And told you, I knew. I remember the Jew, that Garvin guy. He don't shut the hell up. He be whining now. I'm like, what do you do now? You still crying about Days Gone? I want Days Gone too, but you. He's like, that Herman, he canceled it on me. Herman's like, we have The Last of Us. We don't need your shit ass. Bend over. We don't need you. Damn. He's like, but we need Horizon multiplayer. That is a great idea. It's like, oh shit, Herman. Stop shoving Aloy up our faces. No,
We canceled Ben's studio multiplayer, so we could put my multiplayer, Horizon. Just think about it. A whole bunch of Aloys running around, talking to themselves. This is a great idea.
Herman, I don't think so.
No, trust me. This is a great idea. We have all Aloys. They all have red hair. I love red hair. I love it, Herman Holtz. I love red hair. I want all my Aloys to have red hair, and they all run around, and they got blue shirts and red shirts. This is wonderful. And then they shoot arrows at each other. This is a great idea. Horizon multiplayer for the win. We shut down Ben's studio. Bend over. You suck. We're gonna make Aloys.
Dude, that's fucking Herman Holtz. That's his idea.
He's like, I don't have to pitch it to anybody because I'm the boss. That's right. Look at me. I'm the boss. We're making Aloy multiplayer. Everybody's Aloy. There's no character select. Everybody chooses Aloy. Red hair and just a different shirt. This is a great idea.
That's right. Iceman says Herman doing too many splits. He's losing blood flow to his head. I love Days Gone story. Days Gone's freaking awesome. There was a world where Days Gone and Last of Us 2 could exist. That's right.
He's like, I want 16 player multiplayer and everyone's Aloy. This is great.
There's no character select.
It's like, no, nobody wants to be anybody else. Everybody is Aloy. This is great. A great idea.
Herman Holtz Schwarzenegger, dude. Hey, I'm not an impressionist, but there's my Herman.
It's a great idea.
That was his pitch. No character select.
Here's one character. And then we have Battle Pass. And in the Battle Pass, you just could dress Aloy like a Barbie doll. This is great. You could put on different shirts. You could put on different pants, different arrows, different bows in the hair. And we run around. This is great. This is Horizon multiplayer. Green light. Shut down Ben's studio. Fuck 'em. Bend over that.
That's right. There it is. Dude, I'm telling you, that Halo, that multiplayer, Aloy multiplayer. You fucking all Aloys running around with arrows, going like, I think I missed. And then she talks to herself too. She's like, I think I missed them. I think they're hiding behind that bush. Oh, I think they're over there. You know, because Aloy always talks to herself. Oh shit! The Weeb Sheriff's going at me. He goes, as a representative. Oh, I'm sorry, Weeb. I'm sorry. As a representative of the Dutch Pony chapter, I have to ask you to cease and desist, Jez. Your Dutch accent is terrible. How you have a New Yorker doing Dutch accents? I don't know. I don't know, man. My Herman slipped. I slipped my Herman. I haven't. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, the Weeb Sheriff. I'm sorry. We got the global chapter of the Dutch Pony Order about my Herman accent. Stonewall with the 10 VIPs in the house. Get us to that emoji, baby. Yeah. Thank you, Stonewall. 1892. It's Australian.
Thank you.
I have no clue, man. Thank you so much, Stonewall.
It's for harder than the internet. Thank you for the VIP membership.
Yo, thank you, man.
It's for harder than the internet. It's for harder than the feeling it.
Yo, appreciate it. But anyway, yeah, that was your Herman going on there. And then a little thing happened here. This thing. Nintendo. Hey, they did their thing, which again, un-Nintendo-like. I still do not understand the purpose of the Switch 2 video that they got going on here. It's a little bit bigger, and also this video, and I'm sure you saw it. It goes through like a very weird video. Like, so they made them a little bit bigger. Look at what I thought. What I was disappointed in the Switch 2 is that they kept the stupid buttons. They didn't put a D-pad on it. Like I don't like that they didn't put a D-pad on here. They kept the stupid buttons. Listen, I don't understand. First off, I thought this was February. I was like, oh, February, we'll find out more about the Nintendo Switch. They said April. It was reversed. April 2nd. I'm like, April? Why? And this is Nintendo. Dude, this looks like my thing is this looks like a Switch mid-gen refresh. This is the Switch 2? Like, this is like what you thought the OLED redesign was going to be. Oh, yeah, we made the screen like a Switch XL. You know how they did with the DS? But really, not very impressed with this. I think Nintendo, once again, Nintendo needs to lead with the games. And we know those are coming, but I just think very strange that Nintendo put this out there. And yeah, like, I don't know. And then when I saw this, and then this too, I think they're going to rely heavily on the Switch 1 backwards compatibility with the Switch 2. And it's going to be tough for them to sell unless they make Mario Kart 9 and all them exclusive. Exactly. They should have shut up the leakers, Bender, and they should have just released this thing. They should announce this at the Game Awards. Because I don't see any purpose in waiting for a Thursday morning to announce this. I would have just done this at the Game Awards. Everybody watching, Switch 2 announcement. That trail would have been perfect. And they get in front of it. Or at CES. Instead of having all these leakers run around with this thing. Especially how marginally different it is. I have no clue what Mario Kart that is. But I know they're going to have banger games. And you know what Nintendo does. Nintendo just does their thing. And I'm most likely getting the Switch 2. I'm probably definitely getting it. I won't play tons of it. My kids will probably play a lot of it. But, you know, if that's the only way to play Mario Kart 9 and stuff, because I'm playing Mario Kart 8 for goddamn a decade. I got so bad with, I told you before, like I got Mario Kart 8, I played so much that I'm like, I had to do the Mario Kart arcade version at the Gaming Grindhouse. But yeah, like, you know, I just think, again, like this gaming industry, weird stuff, just weird things, like show it off now and then April. It's like 3 months. It's like, yo, before we know more about it, the leakers already told us everything. Just show us the games. But I don't see any big gimmicks with this. People alluding to maybe a mouse pad with it. You know, maybe like how it does like some mouse tracking. Probably gonna do like holographic, like this thing. This is basically, I guess, a mouse. Like you could put it down, like Legion Go style, I guess. But yeah, this happened, and again, very strange, very kind of uneventful. Not really detailing much, just showing what it looks like. But right, Jack, like, what has happened to just show us the games? I guess that's the motif of this. It's just show the games. Like, you know. And I think too, like, you know, this cross-gen stuff. Yeah, they have an event coming in April. That's what it said here. See, I thought that was reversed. I thought, you know, Nintendo did use the European. I thought maybe they meant 2 for 2025. You know, they reverse them in Europe. They reverse it. But I was like, no, that's April's. Really, April? I didn't know which version I was watching. I was like, April? I was like, that's kind of long to wait for more news. But you know that 4.2 is going to, you know, in April, they are going to show the intricacies, the dashboard, and probably show, you know, the games that are coming for it. April 2nd. Yeah, I just want Metroid. 12 gigs of RAM, 1.7 teraflops, PS4 power. Nintendo's going to ride out another generation for it. Craziness. And that Mario Kart tease wasn't impressive because we don't even know what Mario Kart that is. So we will see. But yeah, this happened as well. Thought I'd mention it again. Not a lot to talk about because we kind of knew from the leaks, and it is what it is. Probably people are going to buy it. Nintendo going to make exclusives, and we're going to roll from there. But Grinders, I have to jump off of here. Keep it locked here to the Gaming Grindhouse. I'm going to probably stream some games this weekend, so keep it locked here. We'll have a grinding game again. Might do a Marvel if you want, or we'll do Helldivers again if you want to let me know. So just let me know there. Sam Ash said there's a Motorstorm rumor. Oh, they must have heard me yelling. But yeah, must have heard the Grindhouse yelling. But yeah, I'm gonna do some streaming. So hit that like button, Grinders, and we'll play our Hiroki Totoki-ness song as we head out. Hitoki, get on here. Pull one out. Sony, I hope you know what you're doing, and I hope we didn't fall too far back, and we're going to see the games soon, Sony. So with that, I hope that I'm glad that Concord scared them, and that now they're pivoting back to what they used to do. So that could be the little glimmer of hope that we're going to have in this Sony decision-making situation. But service games, yeah, we're good. Go do what you do best. And hopefully now the decision has been made. So Hitoki-ness, take us out, pull one out, and hopefully Bend and Blue Point are not far back and they could get something around. But hit that like button, Grinders. Gaming Grindhouse 3000.
Where dreams are lost.
Hitoki-ness.
He's the big
Show on Monday
boss.
night. Gaming Grindhouse 3K, baby.
Of a company so grand. But deep down, he longs for a life so grand. Numbers and spreadsheets, they fill his days, but he dreams of making music in so many ways. He wants to rock the stage, be a star so bright, but in the boardroom his dreams stay fly. Hiroki Totoki, the corporate king, but in his heart he just wants to sing. He's got the passion, the fire in his soul, but in the business world he's lost